Hello, my beautiful people. These are all my thoughts and opinions based on public information out there. Please do your own research, and this is for entertainment purposes only. I'm having my morning coffee today. Now, my last video, I wasn't upset, I wasn't angry, I wasn't exasperated, but what I was is bored. And not bored of doing the videos or anything, but bored of people not doing their own research. I mean, guys, I have posted many times before the phone number for you to call Parliament, the phone number for you to call the correct authorities who will guide you to stuff like that. I mean, I do take my time because I also wonder, I'm also confused. Why isn't Parliament doing anything? Why isn't the Queen doing anything? Well, because they are the only ones who have the power to stop it, okay? And they won't. Some people say, oh, they don't want to set precedent. Precedent has been set many, many times before. And it is my opinion that it's more of a dangerous precedent to continue to allow people to abuse or commit a crime. Now, there's the Honors Act of 1925, I think it's. I'm going to leave the picture. I can't remember if it's 1925 or 1915, which basically deals with forbidding senior officials or royals who are working for the British monarchy to give honors for cash. This falls directly to Prince Charles, Prince Andrew, Sarah Ferguson, and yes, I include Sarah Ferguson because she's still using a royal title and she has been cashing in on those titles. All of Sarah Ferguson ventures, business ventures, have been not as Sarah Ferguson, but as the Duchess of York, you know what I mean? So that there's an act in Parliament enabled right now, which is active to prevent all of that. Prince Andrew, if they were to investigate him, to see that he has been selling access for cash, but they don't want to do that. Now we have Harry and Meghan Markle. Now, remember before when I said to you that, and you all know that because we're all human beings, things escalate when not stopped. An abusive person starts with a little push or maybe some words, and then it escalates until you have the awful beatings and then things end up being really, really bad. Now, why are Harry and Meghan Markle doing this so publicly? At least, Charles tries to pretend that he has nothing to do with it, which is a lie. He is a criminal. According to what the law says, according to what the act says. The reason why he blames other people is because if he admits responsibility, he ends up in jail. He will lose the titles and he will end up in jail, period. That's it. So he has no choice but to blame other people. And that is wrong, guys. That is wrong. And the same for Andrew, not knowing anything or always blaming somebody else. Why now Harry and Meghan Markle? It's escalated to the point that whenever you break the law often enough and there's no consequences for that, and if you do it often enough, what is unlawful becomes the norm. Now, let me tell you something. The only, and I've tried Googling. If I'm wrong, please point it out to me, because I have Googled everywhere. Royals trading in or using their titles for their own financial ventures, at least, very publicly. They're not allowed to. The British royal family members are the only ones doing it. And it started with Queen Elizabeth II children and family close relatives. We have Michael of Kent, Prince Michael of Kent, still in the website, in the official British monarchy website, in spite of the fact that he was caught selling access privileges for, I think, £200,000 or £500,000 to endorse certain companies to ensure that they got listed in the government or they would have special privileges. He's still on that website. Prince Andrew is still on that website. Harry and Meghan are still on that website actively. Many people say to me, Paula, but poor Her Majesty the Queen, she's 95. You know what? The justice system, this is nothing against her. But if her kids or her relatives are committing a crime, they should be punished. Can you imagine if the justice system stopped just because your grandmother's upset or your mother's upset? Of course not. Of course not. And clearly, it is very clear that Her Majesty the Queen has a serious conflict of interest to act lawfully when it comes to her children, okay, or her close relatives, because there is an act of Parliament that prevents royals from doing this, senior officials from doing this, exactly this, and there are lawful consequences. Harry and Meghan Markle, and many of you have said to me, we're getting now to the part of Meghan Markle. Many of you have said to me that it is against the law in the United States for Meghan Markle to use a royal title. That is wrong. That is wrong. It's still, if you call the police and say, you know what, she's breaking the law because she's using titles, the police will rightly ask you which law. And they will tell you that she's not breaking the law yet, because the Titles of Nobility Amendment of 1810 has not been ratified yet. It was ratified by some states, but it needs the signatures of others. So technically, Meghan Markle is not breaking the law. And if you go to the police and do that, whoever is asking you to do that, I don't know if this person or people don't know about it, but you can't, because she's not breaking the law yet. So you would look ridiculous, and it would take away your credibility about doing something. And we all end up looking like idiots. For some reason, we're being guided to do the wrong things, to take credibility away from our actions and our actual concerns. So what needs to be done first is go to your representatives in the United States Congress and say, I need you to ratify. Some states have ratified it. It's just been on hold since 1810, but it's still in Congress. That amendment is still in Congress. And why does Meghan lie so much? Why not? Let me tell you something. Right now, Hillary Clinton, Melinda Gates, and other senators and Congress people, Democratic, all of course, are retweeting Meghan Markle's letter. Oh, look what the Duchess of Sussex letter, how wonderful it is. I take my time and I answer those tweets, and I post the pictures of her on the thing saying, oh, I had fun at Musos and this, or I had fun traveling in Mexico or Hawaii, or I have fun with this. I do my bit, you know what I mean? But you guys also have to do yours. And this is serious. Why do you think Hillary Clinton, well, she's a crook in my book, Melinda Gates, are retweeting that and using her title, or not her title, a royal title, because they know it's not against the law. So the best thing you lovely people can do is go to Congress, call your representatives, urge them to ratify the Titles of Nobility Act, because the Titles of Nobility Amendment, because then once that's ratified, then Meghan Markle will be forced to make a choice whether or not she wants to call herself a Duchess of Sussex or be a U.S. citizen. Okay? Now, it's amazing. It's amazing that people like Hillary Clinton, Melinda Gates are lending themselves. This is how serious these people are, to sell an agenda, which is false, to back a known pathological liar, a fantasist. Okay? So and they know. They're not stupid. They know Meghan Markle is lying. They know Meghan Markle is a liar, but they don't care, because they want to use that royal title. They want to use the only thing giving Meghan Markle some respectability is that royal title, because she's been confirmed to be a pathological liar. And all of these people, Melinda Gates, Hillary Clinton, and all those people that are Adele, even Adele now is participating in that, and Oprah. The only reason why they're doing that is because of of her connection to the monarchy, the British monarchy. None of those people would have given Meghan Markle the time of day. In fact, they would have kicked her out if she came trying to look for an autograph. That's the real truth, guys. So it has nothing, if we're going to do things, let's do things right. The Queen can absolutely take away the titles from Harry. She can absolutely make him a private citizen. She doesn't need a reason. She doesn't need to modify the law, because a letters patent is a specifically legal instrument that only a monarch can use for specific, because the law is the law, right? In some letters patent, it becomes the law like general. But then the Queen can issue, or the monarch can issue specific letters patent for specific individuals. In this case, it is in her purview to do that, but she simply doesn't want to do it. And I do think it's because of a conflict of interest that she has with all of her family members. Prince Charles must be investigated, and people say to me, you all hate the royal family. You are not a monarchist. I am a serious monarchist. Why is it so wrong to want the royal family, who represents Canada, to be decent, to not be so corrupt? Because the value of a monarchy, the value of the monarchy is the decency and the character of the people who are occupying that monarchy. The only one decent here right now is the Queen. Princess Anne, maybe the Duke of Cambridge and Catherine. Because, William is not blind. He knows what's going on. He knows what his father is doing. And yet all the attention is being focused on Andrew. Right now, the Prince's Trust is investigating itself for corruption, for taking money, trading for honors. And if you notice, they have distracted everybody from that fact. It should be the police, because it is a criminal act, because there is a bill, there's an act of Parliament that says it's against the law to do that. There's nothing wrong with criticizing something because you want it to be decent. You want it to be respected. You want it to have a good reputation. But now calling out corruption and criminals is a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing. You hate them. I don't hate them. I love the Queen. I hope she recovers. It breaks my heart because I don't know if you saw them. She's giving this audience, video audience to some ambassadors, and her little arm, it had a bruise. It still upsets me because wow, it kind of hits home that she's frail and old, and it's sad. She's coming down. It's 95 years of age. May she long live. But the fact of the matter is, what is wrong with wanting a decent monarchy? What is wrong? Why is so terrible to want the incumbents of the royal household to be decent, to not engage in illegal acts that only benefits them? And people say, oh, it's because Prince Charles is different than Harry because he's doing it for charity. Says who? He hasn't been properly audited. With this thing that came out with Michael Fawcett, it's not Michael Fawcett. Michael Fawcett doesn't blink without Prince Charles' permission. This is a guy who holds the urinal for him to pee in, or squeezes the toothpaste from onto his brush. This is how much of a dog he is to Prince Charles. He would not be sending letters with the seal of approval, from the office of. It's an official letter. So what is wrong with calling them out? I'm asking you, seriously, what is wrong with calling them out? It's not the first time Prince Charles has been doing that. You know what I mean? Now, Meghan Markle do you understand why she is dangerous? Because now she's being endorsed by politicians in the United States. Because these politicians know that as of now, the titles of nobility amendment hasn't been signed. So they are using that. And the reason why they're using Meghan Markle is for the proper thing. It's for the next thing, guy. That paid leave is part of the bill that Joe Biden wants to do. I've been posting online Ronald Reagan when he said that these people who want a big budget, when they submit those budgets, they should also submit the tax plan that goes along with it to show how that bill is going to be financed. Because if you beautiful people saw where that money, how that bill that they want to pass is going to be financed, you would immediately say no. Because they don't put that forth. And Ronald Reagan was right. He said, he was very much anti-big government spending. And he said that that when it came down to increasing budget and stuff like that, or making people dependent on government, it should be like a woman protecting her virtue. Just say no, because it should go hand in hand with any business practices. They will ask you if you want a loan when you go to the bank and you have a business plan. They will say, bring I want you to lend me this money, and this is the business plan that I have, and this is how it's going to be paid. This is where I'm going to be getting the funds to be paid. They're not doing that. They're just putting, people hear these huge numbers and think, oh, wow, that's a lot of money and it's going to come to us. It's not. Who do you think is going to pay for that? So demand that the tax plan for repaying, because that money has to come from somewhere. And this is what people don't get. So they're using Meghan Markle. They're using that specific part of the bill to say, you know what, you have to say yes, because this is good. This is what they want. So they are trying to blind you, because, so you see, they are using her for political things, because you don't hear Republicans doing it, or independent, so be careful. And she is a danger, because unscrupulous people are using the royal titles. They are in the United States, and the United States became independent of the United Kingdom because they don't want royals telling them what to do in Congress. That's the whole point of the 4th of July, my beautiful people. That is why you celebrate the 4th of July. People have forgotten why you celebrate the 4th of July. On the 4th of July, you decided that the royals were not going to tell you what to do. So, and here you are, a Z-list, D-list, whatever you want to call it, semi-porn actress, and a bad one at it, using a royal title to tell Congress what to do. Now, I need to ask you this, and if you have information, please let me know, because is Archwell still not registered? Because I don't know why she used the letterhead of the office of, well, I do know, I think it's because she wanted to show that Harry also backs her up, and because it gave her more prestige. But I wonder if the reason also why she didn't use Archwell Foundation as stationery is because it's still not properly registered. I know that in July 2021, they got the papers saying that they were too vague and evasive in regards to what the organization that they wanted to register, about the goals of that organization. So they were asked to amend that. They were given 6 months to do that. So I wonder if the reason why she didn't use that also is because it still they haven't been able to register it. So if that is the case, that would mean that she's trading under, I wonder if she only trademarked the name, but hasn't been able to register the company properly. Please leave your comments. And you know what? Being critical of something we love, it's the same thing with anything. It's because we want it to be better. We want it, to succeed. That's for me anyway. That's my take. But what do you guys think?